Hi, welcome back. My name is Avrum Rosenzweig. I'm here with my very dear friend, Martin Gallen.
Can you say it a little more enthused?
Martin Gallen.
The way people say, when you say my name, you seem to, you draw it.
Yeah, people talk, eh?
Say it very clearly. I am here with my dear friend who put me through the hell.
That's true. Yeah, that part's true.
No.
So Marty,
just joking.
I know you are, dear. Marty and I are at Le Jardin, and it's a beautiful banquet hall.
It is.
In the northern part of the city.
Yeah.
And we've been doing a lot of shows from here, courtesy our very dear friend Carlo, who is the founder of this lovely edifice, and his children have taken it over, and we'll talk more about that later when we do speak with Carlo. But right now, we're with Teresa Greco. Hello, Teresa
You got the
Greco.
name right.
Yeah, I got the name right. Yeah, it's not like Rosenzweig, right? That's my last name. And what we're talking about is happiness and securing happiness, something which is evasive for many, many people, right? What's very interesting is that there's a happiness index in the world. You're familiar with it, right? What's fascinating to me is I think Finland is the most happy country in the world. Israel, whom you would think would not be, is number 11, right? I'm not sure where Canada is. Do you know where
It's
Canada is?
not on the list. Like not on the top 12.
We're
I don't
not-
know where Canada.
we're
I
not a
didn't
happy
actually.
nation, eh?
I was looking at it this morning,
Yeah.
and we're not on.
Does that-
on
does
the
that
top
mean-
12.
Not even on
We're
to
not on the
the-
top
no.
12.
Does that
on
mean
the
we're
top
not a
12.
happier nation?
That's right.
Why would that
Not
be?
of the happiest nations.
Why
for
wouldn't
sure.
Why wouldn't we be? We have all the freedoms
I
we
know,
want.
I know.
What's that all about?
And this is the quandary, right? That there was some science done in the 1940s where it asked people back then, how happy are you? And they averaged around 7.2. And then 60 years later, they asked again. They did another let's say happiness surveys. They asked the people, now that we're at like 2000s, right? How happy are you?
Yeah.
And they're still averaging 7.2. And it's like, well, this doesn't make sense. How is it that we have that much more like gadgets, appliances, technology, phones, all these
And
things,
freedoms.
and we're not any more happy?
Yeah.
So those three pillars, how do you obtain those three pillars of happiness? And also wanted to know, does weather also affect happiness?
I love your questions.
Thank you.
Does meat sauce affect
No,
happiness?
but weather does affect
Just
your
messing
happiness.
with you.
I think.
Yeah, it's sad. Yeah.
It doesn't, because I mean, people in Florida always seem happy. I mean, they got a terrible governor, but they seem happy.
Yeah.
So I mean, here we wait. If you have a snowstorm, you're not happy.
Remember that song, I Wish It Would Rain?
No.
Yeah, a guy was very melancholy about breaking up with a woman, and he says, you might find this strange, but I wish it would rain.
Right.
Why? Because that encourages his sadness. So your point is well taken, really.
Well, I think so. But
Yeah.
let's talk about those pillars.
Love, peace, and happiness, the
That's
three
what-
pillars of which you stated.
Right.
Firstly, tell us about love.
So, I just want to qualify something
Yes.
that you mentioned is that those are qualities of our essential self, of our original nature is love, peace. And when we were born, I believe that when we were born into this world, that children exemplify love, peace, and happiness. As an
Yeah.
educator, as a parent, I have observed children loving it doesn't matter the color of your skin, what religion you are, what neighborhood you're from, what food
Yeah.
you eat, nothing. They're all friends with each other, right? But then as
I like
we
your
get
touch.
older,
Yeah, we feel like close.
Feels so warm.
oh, there
Very
we go.
close, yes.
And as the world gets its claws into us, it starts to take us away. So it is about coming back to that place within us. So happiness for me is a state of being, which means it is an innate quality of our spiritual self. So there's our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. Our spiritual self is always those three things. And I say those three things because peace is a quality of love, and happiness is a quality of love. So if you were to ask somebody, how would you describe love? Like, what does love feel like? Well, some people might say it feels peaceful.
Yeah.
It feels calm.
Yeah.
It feels like when I'm at home. Or they might say, oh, it feels like extreme happiness. It feels like bliss. It feels like harmony. It feels like all those good feelings. So that's why peace and love are just qualities of like that prism.
They're like
which
sister
really stem-
qualities.
Yes, that stem from that.
You seem to be just exploding with knowledge and wisdom and love. Your smile and your energy, shows all this warmth. And was that same person this person before this? Were you always that person when you smiled, did you feel that you were really smiling?
That's a
Because
good
now
question.
you're smiling.
Good question.
Thank you. So part of my story is that I wore many masks, that my life had been dictated by all the different people and spaces around me with how I felt I needed to show up in order to be loved, to be respected.
Yeah.
And so, you know, with my family, it was like, who does Teresa need to be in this moment? And at work, who does Teresa need to be here? And with those people, how do I need to show up? Because I was always looking for that love and acceptance outside of me. Now, recognizing that I was love already, I just wasn't going inward, again, because we're conditioned to look outside of us to say,
Yeah.
what do you think I should do? What do you think? Always looking for answers outside, but everything we are always looking for already exists inside of us. We just have to make time to find it.
When you did find happiness, what happened to people in your world?
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
Yeah, how did they react?
Yeah.
More
yeah.
so, how did she react?
Yeah,
You know that, Marty? You know when you make changes
yeah,
and you see the people around you are not growing with you, so your relationships change. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, thank you. So your external environment is always acting as a mirror to what's happening inside of you.
Yeah.
So I had many relationships, whether professionally or personally, that were not functioning well in my life, but it was because the relationship with myself was not functioning well. So when I decided to make changes in my life and I started to show up differently for myself, when I started to love, honor, and respect myself, then all of a sudden the people around me did too. So those people that I had problems with, I didn't say, you need to be different. If only you would change, then I'd be happy. I didn't tell anybody to do anything different.
but your love affected their love.
Yes.
Wow.
And they began to reflect who I was on the inside. So all of a sudden, the people that I felt were constantly disrespecting me, all of a sudden were like respecting.
Right.
And I was like, what?
They
Like,
felt it.
and it was like before,
Yeah.
oh, had I said, no, I can't do this, you would have been like, you know, shitting on me or whatever. And now it's like, oh yeah, it's fine, Teresa, it's fine. And I was like, wow. So it's
Your answer is
who
surprising me, you know?
who you show up, and then your external environment is a reflection of that. So when things are chaotic outside of you, it's because things are chaotic inside.
So I agree with you on that, but your answer does surprise me because honestly, what I was expecting was that you would say, I dropped a lot of friends. Did that
But
And that
happen?
happened. That has happened.
Oh, that happens too.
She made
yes,
friends.
Yes.
No,
yes.
but you know what I'm saying, Mark?
Yeah.
Like if you're growing in such a way where you're calm and
Right.
peaceful with yourself, but the
People
friends
get
that you
jealous.
had before
Yeah.
were anxious
Yeah.
because you related to that. It's like people who do drugs. They attract people who do drugs.
Yeah.
But once they
Attract what
stop,
we are. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Once they stop,
Yes.
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
lose
say
those
goodbye.
friends.
Yes, yes.
We'd rather go and take a little break, and we're going to go on more about love, and this is an important subject to talk about. And you're making us happy, Avrum, aren't we?
Yeah, you have a lovely gleam in your eye.
Yeah,
doesn't she?
amazing. And you can
Like
see
you
the
could see
love.
happiness.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, you can feel, and you feel warmth and love.
Look how shy you are.
I just think it's great that we always think it's outside, but it's really inside ourselves.
Always.
That's where we find it. We got a lot more. Don't go away. Come back. The numbers are crazy. And please tell your friends that Marty and Avrum are back, and we look as good as we always do.
I don't know about that.